Please welcome General John Campbell, U.S. Army retired, Chairman, NS2 Serves.
All right, thanks very much. We're going to bring lunch out to you. As Frank said, we think you can do two things at one time. Listen to this next presentation, at the same time eat. After that, we'll have a break. So if you can hold on for the next 15 minutes, I think the next presentation with our veterans is going to be really interesting. I have to say up front, Cup was supposed to introduce me on the video. That's why I came out and kind of watched. I hadn't seen the video. He was supposed to introduce me. He didn't. He's in Las Vegas right now. Should I say anything else? Tonight, Mark and I are heading to Las Vegas. We'll work with the folks tomorrow, officially accept that Jeep there. That'll be shown throughout the country. We'll use it as we travel around, getting the word out about our great veterans. Can I have our NS2 Serves veteran class stand up again? You saw them this morning. Mark introduced you. Stand up one more time. All right. And then any veteran in the audience, please stand up. All our veterans in the audience, stand up. All right, anybody has a family, stay standing, stay standing. Anybody has a family member that's a veteran, stand up. All right. Anybody that knows a veteran, stand up. All right, take a look around. Look to your left and right. So this is very important. You're all very passionate. All right, thank you. Sit down. All right, I spent 36 years, 10 months, and 25 days in the Army. I retired 1 May 2016 as the commander of all U.S. forces and coalition forces in Afghanistan. I'm on the advisory board for Mark, and I'm also the chairperson for NS2 Serves. Why did I want to get involved in NS2 Serves? This tells you what it is. Let me tell you what it is from my heart. Mark Testoni, about 4 years ago, and I think you all know Mark is a veteran, served in the Air Force, said, let me think of a way that I help give back to our veterans. So we established NS2 Serves. They started with one class. We're up to 4 classes each year. We train 20 veterans in those classes. We want to get to 5 classes. That's why we need your help. And we want to continue to scale that, and I'll talk about that more at the end after you listen to our veterans. I also have to make another announcement. I'm not Frank, and I didn't go through makeup. And I don't care if I'm 15 years younger, all right? And Frank, I told you I'd dime you out there. And my name's not Bob, okay? So I know all the other presenters were Bob. I'm not Bob. But seriously, back to our veterans. Near and dear to both Mark's heart, my heart, and hopefully all of your hearts is our veterans. 300,000 a year transition out of all of our services back into civilian life. All right? They've done great things for our country. We need to help them out. And one way to help them out is provide them training and then get them a job. And as I looked at all the different VSOs out there, the veteran service organizations, and there's thousands, and they all do great, great things. The thing that differentiated NS2 Serves for me is the output on the end. As we take our veterans, put them through NS2 Serves, train them, they get certified, it's 100% job placement. And when you take somebody that needs a job, that needs to take care of their family, provide them that opportunity, and they have that job, and again, you'll hear it up here, that's the differentiator. It's a game changer. And so for me, this is very, very passionate and very, very important, and that's why I'm involved in NS2 Serves. This is the impact it's had so far. And again, we really want to scale this up, and we're going to need your help. And I'm going to talk about that at the end. But before we do that, you're going to have a chance to hear some of our great veterans and our students and what they've gone through the class. Laura, where are you at? Let me introduce Laura Carmack. Her full-time job is VP Assessment and Recruitment, well, HR. She handles HR. She's from New Jersey. I told her I wouldn't say anything bad about New Jersey girls. But her, and the military folks understand this, her additional duty is that right there. And Laura wasn't in the military, but I've never seen anybody so passionate about our veterans and what she does for our veterans. And she works day in and day out to help our veterans as they get through the classes to make sure they have all the opportunities to get placed in a good job. So Laura, thank you for what you do. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, General Campbell. And again, I'm very privileged to be able to work with this program. Not being in the military, I've learned a lot about the military, and this is a program that really gives back. So we have 3 panelists today. The first one is, let me introduce Chris Dinkel, who is the Managing Director at Deloitte. Chris. Our next panelist is William Velasquez Morales. He's a Solutions Analyst at Deloitte. He graduated in our program May 2018. Thank you, Will. And our next panelist is Ashley Duthins, who is a current NS2 Serves candidate who is in our program and will be graduating November 16th. Thank you, Ashley. Okay, you guys have a seat. You guys can have a seat. So Chris, let me ask you the first question. So you've been at Deloitte, you've had over 20 years of experiencing developing, implementing large-scale, complex solutions. Can you share with everyone here the benefits of partnering with NS2 Serves and how it's had a positive impact on the business?
Absolutely. So the marketplace today from an S4 perspective is growing exponentially in the commercial marketplace, which is where I generally focus most of my efforts these days. And as part of that, we've found that we clearly need more and more people in order to be able to implement these types of solutions in the customer space. So, and one of our avenues has been this partnership with NS2, taking advantage of the veterans and the level of training that they're getting in the SAP platform that we're able to easily incorporate and fit into the teams that we then go and implement at our customers at. This also is a very beneficial scenario for us as well, as we also have a very strong veterans program at Deloitte, and we're hiring across a variety of channels in order to get veterans as part of our program to have that sort of experience and those kinds of opportunities to progress their careers as they go through life. And so this has been a foundational element as to how we go and deliver that.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, Chris. And again, we work closely again with Deloitte. We've worked with them setting up the curriculum, and they're actually here this week interviewing our current veterans in the class. So Will, let me ask you a question. You served in the U.S. Army for 8 years. Upon transitioning out of the military and into the workforce, I'm sure like many veterans, it was difficult finding a job. Can you tell us the challenges that you faced in doing that?
Well, one of the challenges has been translation, translating the skills that I learned in the military and my craft and applying it to the civilian world. And it wasn't until NS2 that showed me and gave me the opportunity to show what I can do. And by giving me the opportunity to get the certifications that I achieved, I was able to apply my dedication, my motivation, and skills like that into my career that I have now.
Yep, and we'll explain, what was your skill set in the military?
I was a mechanic. I worked on generators, I worked on Humvees, and all kinds of vehicles. And it really taught me a lot of attention to detail, which plays a big part in my current career, so it's awesome.
Did you ever think with that skill set that all of a sudden you'd be working at Deloitte as a solutions analyst?
Not at all. I went from turning wrenches to now I'm sitting behind a computer and making a lot of friends, networking with Chris and other partners within Deloitte, so it's awesome.
And what did you tell me the other day? You wake up every morning, look in the mirror and think, what am I doing as you're driving to work at Deloitte?
It's crazy to be able to wake up in the morning, dress up as I am right now, drink my cup of coffee, and it's like, wow, I'm not in the jumpsuit smelling like grease or anything like that. So it's awesome. It's motivating.
Well, great. Thank you, Will. And then Ashley, you served in the U.S. Army for 10 years. You're currently in our NS2 Serves class. In fact, you are actually on terminal leave, and you'll be getting out in January.
Yes.
So the nice thing with your situation is you'll be getting out, and hopefully, after she interviews with Chris tomorrow, she will have a job with Deloitte. No pressure, Chris. I'm not putting any pressure on you
There's no
at
pressure
all.
on me.
That's right. So can you tell everyone how the NS2 program, what it's done for you?
So the NS2 Serves program has changed my life for the better. This program came at a pivotal time in my career, in my life, where I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do getting out. I didn't know if I was going to have a stable job to provide for my family, and immediately getting out, if I was going to have that job, you know. So this program, this training is phenomenal. I started this program not knowing exactly what SAP was, except for how to spell it. So that was a big challenge right there. But again, this program was is very phenomenal, and I am so grateful for it. The next step, of course, is next week we take our certification exam. So I am very confident that, you know, everything is going to go well with that, and of course receive a job offer and be challenged in a position where I can increase my skills, knowledge, and experience, and of course create business innovation while using SAP as the forefront. So I'm very excited.
Well, great. Well, thank you. And Chris, we'll go back to you. Now that we know how impactful it can be to hire veterans, what would you tell other companies who might be interested in hiring veterans within their organization?
Well, the first thing I'm supposed to do is challenge them to hire veterans into their respective organizations. That's the veteran in me talking. I'm also a veteran from the United States Marine Corps. But we're seeing that the marketplace, there's a tremendous number of veterans that are transitioning out, as General Campbell alluded to earlier. These folks have a tremendous amount of skills that can be positioned appropriately in order to create extremely impactful employees inside of organizations. You know, we at Deloitte, there was a bit of a gag a bit earlier that someone was asking a question about, well, for some of our veterans that we hired in, we're putting them at a client who's located out in Arkansas, and they were like, well, you know, it's not going to be, you know, they're not going to be able to stay at a Marriott or that class or level of a hotel. It's like a Best Western is the local hotel. And someone just turned to me and said, well, what do you think of that? And I go, you got to be kidding me. Like, we were, in my own experience in the military, right, most of the time we were living in a slit trench. So a Best Western is a massive step up. You know, the resiliency of veterans, in the scenarios that we put them in from a consulting standpoint, the resiliencies and their ability to be successful is phenomenal. And so that's why Deloitte is going to continue to support this program. We're already planning for the spring class and what we're going to do there. So a tremendous number of opportunities, and I would just challenge other organizations to potentially look at that as they look at their recruiting pools.
Pools, yes. Well, and Chris, one thing, you know, now that you've sort of set the stage for, you know, hiring our veterans, we've had a lot of companies come and say, hey, we want to do what Deloitte's doing. So again, if we can train more veterans and get more companies involved, you know, I think we found the magic sauce to how all of this works and set up a training program. So again, we challenge all of other companies to do, again, what Deloitte is doing. And I'd also like to thank, with Deloitte, some of the recruiters that are here, some of your team over there. They're sitting over there to the right, Latricia and James and other recruiters. They're here, so if anyone would like to talk to them about what they're doing with Deloitte, that would be great. And then, Will, let's get back to you again. Can you talk again about how this program has really changed your life?
It didn't only just change, it blessed my life and my family as well. Financially, I got a stable career. I've been given opportunities by Deloitte, presenting to national leaders, showing the level of professionalism and discipline at the military, you know, installed in me, and it just changed completely, big time. So if it wasn't for NS2 giving us the opportunity, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, thank you, Will. And then Ashley, you've spent countless hours over the past 2 months with 18 veterans that are in the audience here studying for exams. In your opinion, what skills do veterans bring to the table that makes them great assets to a company?
Great question. Veterans are not your average set of candidates. We are very much unique. And because of this makes us a great asset to any company. Based on our determination, motivation, leadership, integrity, and most importantly, our passion. Our class, Class 13, is comprised of various branches of the military, and we all share those skills together. It's those skills, those specific skills that we know have and will always get the job done. NS2 Serves took a chance on 19 veterans from our class, and we know that we're just gonna push through the best way we know how, and that's as a team.
Right. Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much. And I do want to say, you know, we have, with our NS2 Serves, we have trained now about 250 veterans when this class graduates. And when Vice Admiral Joe Kernan started this program with us, he challenged me and said, if we do not get all these veterans hired, this program fails. And I am glad to say that we have hired, trained 250 veterans, and after this class of 20 graduates and gets hired by Deloitte, we will have trained, no pressure, we will have trained 250 veterans, and I can honestly go back to Vice Admiral Joe Kernan and tell him that we have 100% employment. So that's what's really special. So again, I want to thank our panel, again, Chris Dinkel for our partnership with Deloitte. And again, I challenge other companies that want to do this. You know, we work with Chris. He helps figure out what curriculum we're going to teach them, because the important thing is that they get a job afterwards. And then Will, thank you again, being a graduate in May 2018, and now working as a solutions analyst at Deloitte and being a great representative of our program. And then Ashley, again, I wish you luck with your certification that you'll be taking in about 2 weeks. And then again, I wish you luck in your final interview with Chris tomorrow at the...
Thank you.
Again, no pressure, Chris. And again, I want to thank the panel. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
General. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great job. All right. All right. I got 2 more slides to show you. Keep eating. All right. I can see if you're leaving. I'll take some names here. I did call Cup and say, Cup, you're in Las Vegas. You were supposed to introduce me in the video. What happened? And he started mumbling something about, he tried to make a joke about Navy versus Army, and then he realized that Navy football was 2-6 and Army football was 6-2. So. All right, and then Saturday, Army plays Air Force for the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy. So, all right, on your tables, you see this thing right here. All right, and Cup talked about $25. He didn't tell you how you can do it. So if you take your camera, you see that little code there, you take a picture of it, it'll lead you right to where you go to get $25. Donate $25. These are our sponsors that are making this presentation possible. I'd ask you to give them a big hand. All right, you can't leave an audience without having some sort of ask. So my next slide is the ask here. I really need 2 things. One is I need you to get the word out and help us get the word out about NS2 Serves. So if you know a veteran that's looking for job placement, that needs a way to go, a direction, a new skill set, tell them to go to our website, www.ns2serves.org. And on there, and if you go there, you'll see great, great testimonials of all of our graduates. And there's several of those that'll just bring you to tears as you read through those or listen to those videos. So I need to help get the word out, and we need your help to do that. And you interact with employers, you interact with veterans, please get the word out. The second piece is no organization, no nonprofit organization can run without money. And we're very, very blessed to have Mark Testoni and what he provides through his organization, but we need more. And if our goal is to get 5 classes, then to increase that, we need to scale. And how do you scale? You need to get big corporations like Deloitte, Accenture, the other ones that have provided so much. So we need your help in getting that word out. All of you that are not part of NS2, that are tied into other corporations, all of your companies, I'm sure, are doing other veterans programs out there, and they're all great. But hopefully today you learned a little bit about NS2 Serves, and you'll go back and think about what you can do to help us out. So you can do $25, and every bit helps, and we appreciate that, and thank you for that. But what we really need is to get folks to sponsor a class. And we need your companies, we need corporations to pick that up. 300,000 veterans are getting out each year. They've paid their dues. We need to help them transition back into the civilian society. And by giving them a skill set, giving them job placement, I think that's a key way to do it. And so again, we're looking to get 150,000 to sponsor another class, but 150,000 from some of your big companies, we used to call that palm dust, all right? So we need your help on that. But I really need you talking to them. If you need me to talk, or Mark to talk, or Laura to talk, or Cup to talk to any of your leadership, we look forward to that.